I remember nights were long, we would sit around the farm, dreaming out the day.
This is my last record with Stella Ruze, and it's bittersweet, you know. It's hard to say goodbye, but when a door closes, another opens. And you know, I've had some changes personally, you know, starting a family, you know, working on some other stuff outside of music, career-wise, and just finding like where I want to be. And it's been Stella Ruze for a long time. It's always been like I couldn't trade it for anything else. And there's been some tough times, like I've gotten done shows and I've just been so angry, but then I hear the show and it's actually really good. And I don't know, you know, I'm a very emotional person, and the way I express some of what I'm feeling, you know, whether it's happiness, if it's tension, if it's, you know, it could be anger, it could be just pure joy or whatever it is. I mean, we're human beings. We all have those emotions. You know, I can express it through music. So to take a step back from Stella Ruze, you know, is going to be very, very challenging.
I mean, obviously, I'm gonna miss him, and he's incredibly talented.
He's a kick-ass piano player, that's for sure.
Mason's my best friend. So Mason and I played music together for the better part of 20 years together.
When people say stuff to me after the gig, he's always mentioned as like, wow, your piano player is really good. Because he is.
I've said before, I'll never get sick of watching people's faces in the audience when he just casually rips some wild solo or some organ riff here and there, and he's always got ideas to add to stuff. So I'm gonna miss that like zest that he has for sure. It's not something that you can really recreate, honestly.
So Mason's gone through a lot of life changes, and so I ultimately think that's a huge influence on it. But I think that, you know, some of the tension between him and Brendan had come to a head over the last year. I think that ultimately, if I can put it really simply, Mason needs a Jerry and Brendan is a Trey. So I think that fundamentally, while those two guitar players are not very far off from one another, Mason can't exist in the Trey world for some reason. And I don't know why, because he's a huge Phish head too.
It's your time, don't be alarmed by the voice that's inside, just enjoy the ride.
I made this decision several months ago, and the band was really supportive because I felt like I was getting to a point personally too where there was a lot going on, you know. So gotten into some other stuff recently too, like playing more guitar, like DJing. I mean, it's super fun. And writing more music.
I wish he could sort of sacrifice his vision a little bit more than he's willing to, which he has for this particular song. So he's sacrificed his vision in order to fit it into what we do. And that's not just Brendan, that's me, that's Katie, and Katie's singing it, for God's sakes. So that's a huge change from where we were at first.
He has done so much and contributed so much.
I think Rhetoric is going to be his bridge off of us into his own recording.
I really want to have the opportunity to just like start from scratch.
Rhetoric, which is a song that he wrote, almost as his swan song for the band. Like, I think that's kind of like his parting gift to the band. Like, you guys go and run with it.
I've played in bands before where I've left and the band like just ends, and I didn't want that to happen to Stella Ruze because it's so special. I mean, this is a really special thing.
Rhetoric has been like a work for like, I want to say, 2 years in the making, and it really, really inspires me the way Mason's always, coming back to the song, making tweaks here and there, and how we as a band are able to help him make the different tweaks to that song.
People have really accepted the band publicly, and I want that to continue. And I think with a change like this, it gives there's fresh opportunities for growth.
I think he wants to have a stamp at the end of this thing when we put this out that he put his all into this band, which he did. And he tried, and ultimately, I wouldn't necessarily say that we failed him. He didn't fail us. It's just people grow apart. So, I didn't cry. It's good.
To have this final send-off for Mason, leaving the group in November, I think is awesome. I'm not sure how the timing worked out the way it did. It's kind of a nice way to send Mason off into the wonder of the rest of his life.
The only constant in life is change, right?
Mason is he's a sweetheart.
Nothing lasts forever,
And he is just so insanely talented.
he feels like it's time to do something else or move on to something else. Good for him, but it's not gonna be the same without him, that's for sure.
Greater Dog gets recorded, finished in the summertime. I remember having a screaming match with Mason and Brendan on the phone separately with both of them from Delaware, standing on a deck on July something, and screaming at both of them to get over it and figure out how the fuck you two are going to coexist on this record, or put up or shut up to both of them.
What it's come to is, at a certain point, creatively, you do everything you can. And, I think creatively, I've given everything I can into Stella Ruze. And when you put all of that in, sometimes it doesn't come out the same way as it used to. And that's, I think, what's happened with Brendan and I is that, we have been creating a lot of stuff over the years, and I've been supporting, stuff he's written, and he definitely supports anything that I'm writing, and we work on that stuff together. And I think now we've come to a point where maybe, creatively, we've gone in maybe a different direction, separate directions. And that's just natural. That's part of life. That's what happens.
Take me to another place, she said. Take me to another time. Run with me across the ocean.
Hello, everybody. What's up for Mason? This is Garcia.
Your silver cloud.
It's not goodbye, it's just see you later.
Mason leaving the band is a tremendous change for this group. He is a raw talent that we'll never be able to fully replace. There is no replacing somebody like that. And he's one of the founding members. So for me, it's about cherishing those moments. I'll miss Mason every single time we play. There's no one that holds down as many sounds and soundscapes as Mason.
Stay with me till time turns over. I wanna feel my feet hit the ground. Take me where the whispering breezes.
Mason reached a new chapter in his life. It's really unfortunate because he was such a driving force of this band and continues to be too. I mean, I told you that he's a family member. It's like a piece is kind of torn out of you, which it hurts. He's definitely left his mark on the band.
If I could, I would, but I don't. If I could, I would, and I take you down, living as we go.
Ultimately, you know, it's a huge loss to the group because Mason was a founding member and a brother. And when you just kind of take that out of the equation, there's a little bit of a transition. But, you know, I think I always try to look at it positively. And, yeah, in the end, it is what it is.
I hope he comes back, and if he does, that's great. If he doesn't, that's okay too, because what brings him happiness is good for him, and what brings Stella Ruze happiness is good for them.
The door's always open. You know, certainly we'll have obligations pretty soon here that we'll need to find a new player, or maybe we'll choose not to for a little while, but I think we're all trying to look at it as a growth moment, and Mason has been nothing but amazing trying to help with the transition and finding and auditioning a new piano player.
You know, if you're a fan of the band, there's a lot of growth happening in the band right now. So, you know, it's going to be an amazing ride. Just stay tuned. And I mean, there's a lot of good stuff coming up. And I think you'll, be really excited to see what's to come. I feel, you know, it's sad to leave the band, but it's also kind of a moment to reflect and say, look at all that we've done. Yeah, it's like 9-10 years. So look at all that we've done and look at what's to come on the other side of this. We are recording a Mason Hunter original called Rhetoric, which was written during the pandemic. You know, it's kind of like a little politically charged because, you know, every politician, I mean, there's a certain rhetoric that comes along. I wanted to present that as just a space for people to be comfortable, you know, just being okay with who they are and who other people are as well. Actually singing the lead on that. I was singing it for a while, but she definitely sounds better singing it, and you know, it's got more of kind of a poppy vibe with her doing it. That's what I'm gonna do.
sad. But I mean, shit happens. Bands break up.